As we've been reporting, Israel is getting closer to carrying out its ground invasion of Gaza. Our Catherine Herridge spoke with retired General Joseph Votel, the former commander of Central Command, which oversees military operations in the Middle East.
Today, IDF tanks and troops pushed into Gaza in a limited incursion. Is that another indicator that we are on the cusp of a ground invasion?
I think their intention was to set the conditions for a broader campaign in Gaza, which, of course, we have yet to see unfold. But clearly, there's a variety of reasons for doing something like this. One is to set conditions. Second is to keep Hamas off balance. Third is for informational purposes and demonstrate to their own population that they are taking this serious and pursuing actions. And fourth is to kind of get the lay of the land, understand what they're dealing with, and again start preparing the way for what might be a larger scale incursion into Gaza.
Is it that preparation that explains the delay on the ground invasion?
It's not just the surface and the streets; it's tall buildings and it's a subterranean tunnel system that is somewhere in the area of 300 miles of tunnels underneath this. So it's a very complex piece of urban terrain. And then when you add on to that other complicating factors like the presence of 200 plus hostages and a rapidly deteriorating humanitarian situation and the threat of a widening conflict on the other Israeli frontiers, this is not necessarily a decision that can be taken lightly or cavalierly. So I think the deliberateness of this is good.
What will it take to bring the American hostages home?
Well, obviously, I think that's a foremost factor in all of this, and there's no doubt that this is a big variable, a big consideration in the eventual ground campaign into Gaza. I must believe that our American capabilities are working with the Israelis to share information, to share technology, to share approaches to how we do this so that we can bring people home in this.
The Pentagon has moved considerable assets into the region. What do you believe is the tipping point for U.S. military involvement?
Well, I think the movement of our forces in the region has been designed to do a couple things. One has been to posture our capabilities, so we're in a better position to respond. It's also been to make sure that we can contain the conflict, and that involves deterrence, and deterrence is a factor of both capabilities and will. I think what tips this is a direct attack on American interests or American citizens in the region. I think could be a little bit of a changer for us and require us to take a more aggressive or direct role in addressing that specific situation, or perhaps maybe getting more involved in the broader conflict. I don't necessarily think it's in our interest to get involved in the broader conflict. We may have to do that as a matter of course. And if that's the case, then I think we're well postured for that.
Has the departure of U.S. military capabilities from the region negatively impacted this concept of U.S. deterrence?
Well, I don't think it's helped, and I think one of the things that we are going to have to come to grips with here with this is that the military, we have national security interests in the Middle East, and those part of protecting and preserving those national security interests means that we have to have a sustainable military presence in the region that is reliable, is responsive, and is reassuring to our partners in the region.